The World Cup is over. Lionel Messi and Argentina have won the World Cup. They beat France 3-3 in penalties. France have lost the World Cup final. That's why I'm
Yeah.
wearing black to represent their death, to represent their pain of Mbappe, who had a hat trick. But at the end of the day, this was Mbappe. This was Messi's tournament, and it was destined for him to win it. Imran, what are your thoughts?
Messi has done it. The GOAT. That's why I'm wearing this because Messi wore this when he lifted the trophy. But going into the game, I have no words for this game. It was absolutely amazing. For like until France got that penalty, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, this might be just one of the worst World Cup finals. It was an absolute just. I was just in boredom pretty much. Argentina dominated most of the game. France weren't even in it, like in the first half, especially until until they made the change where they put in Kobo Money and Thuram, and I feel like they got more energy from that. Like a lot of times, you could see them pressing higher. They had a lot of energy, and they kind of stopped like just allowing Argentina to control the game, and they got the penalty, which kind of reinvigorate whatever
Reinvigorated.
re-energize re-energize them even more, and Mbappe, man, Mbappe did it again. His second goal to take it to extra time, and extra time again was special. Just Messi scores, and then they get another penalty. France did, and 3-3 going to penalties. And we said before I'm pretty sure we said this in our preview. Like if it goes to penalties, Argentina probably got this. And I mean Martinez got the moment. He made the save, and then Chouamini missed another one. And Messi and Argentina completed their dreams.
Yeah, I mean, for the first 70 minutes, this was all Argentina. France did not have the urgency to play like they were playing in the finals. It seemed like they were out of it, against England, against Morocco. They were on the back foot, but they always played with the lead. These things happened to them, but from the first minute, it was all Argentina, and France did not have a single, not a shot on goal, but not a
Yeah.
single shot, period, until the 70th minute. Not a single shot until the 70th minute. In midfield, I thought, especially within that first 70 minutes, Rodrigo de Ball and McAllister completely controlled the tempo of the game. They won all the second balls. They played one touch passing to open up space for Argentina. And Di Maria, those first 60 minutes was superb. He was giving that France right side of the defense nightmares that entire first half. And I'm surprised that they subbed him off that early. Maybe it's a fitness issue with the fact he hasn't played that much in the leading up to this game, but
Yeah.
he was superb. In Argentina were superb for that first 70 minutes, but it took that one moment from France. They're a moments team. They won the last World Cup on that one moment on moments, and they got two moments of quality that got them right back into it. And from then on, for that rest of that 90 minutes, 90 plus 8, Argentina just needed to get out of there with the to extra time. And once it got to extra time, it was Argentina that started sustaining the
Yeah.
the good play again. The thing with France is that France should be disappointed as they only had that urgency. They only made Argentina drop back and defend whenever they were down in a desperate time. Why wasn't France able to channel that in a bit earlier? They could have won the game, and they still could have won it. The thing everyone wants to talk about the penalty save and all the goals, but the moment of this game is Emiliano Martinez saving that from Kolumwani and almost the last kick of the game. I know Lautaro Martinez had a chance right after that, but Kolumwani, if he makes that through, they win that World Cup, and it was one phenomenal save. How quick he came out, getting it with an outstretched leg, and then to do what he did in penalty shootout, an unsung hero for this Argentinian team, a player that deserves massive credit, and Lionel Messi. Shy. Even today, he didn't have his bestest of games, but you could tell whenever he was on the ball, he got the ball to the players in space. He did all the simple things so well. He didn't really have his best of a game, but he still managed to get a brace. And I still thought he played very, very well. And he has deserved the best player of the tournament because he has carried this Argentina team on the back. And Argentina in penalties, once they reach penalties, France with the inexperience having guys like Chouameni take penalties, Kolomwani Who else? And then Hugo Lloris, I thought is not a good penalty save. I don't know how he didn't save that Messi penalty. I don't know. I have no idea. I still can't figure out how he didn't save that Messi penalty. Uh, but yeah, good win for Argentina. And I thought France were lucky to get to this stage because of the way that they were outplayed, and even though that's how they wanted to play. But I knew if they were to play against a team that could really take advantage of them, like in Argentina, that they would fall. And it took two penalties for it to happen, but they fell.
Yeah. For the first 70 minutes, I was thinking, of course, what England and Morocco couldn't do was finally happening to them, and like, and I mean, they somehow got back into it because Mbappe finally got back into it. Like before the penalty, he only had like one shot that went over the bar. That was like a few minutes before the penalty, and then you can see Mbappe like really turning up, and they had that moment. They're just a moments team. They're not a team that's gonna sustain pressure on you, like as you were saying, and that's I
And it
guess did it
finally
cost
caught up to
them?
them.
I mean, they got to the final at least, so and
Yes, but
they've lost like a lot of key
to
players.
win back to back World Cups, you gotta have that final cutting edge. And the first really clinical team that they played, they would lose to. Let's be honest. No matter what the players England has, England there was no way England had what to make France pay, and definitely not Morocco either. Honestly, Morocco played better against France than England did. Both of those teams did not have the ability, or Poland did not have the ability to make France play for their inconsistencies, especially in midfield, being able to control and dominate a game. They don't play like that. And against the good teams, you'll get cost for that. Against the Argentinians, the Brazils that didn't even make it to this point, but against the top teams, you can't do that. And well, once they faced their first top team, they lost. And let's be honest, it went to penalties, but Argentina should have saw this through 90 minutes.
Yeah,
It speaks more about Argentina's demise rather than France getting back to the game. Not a single shot through 70th minute. I can't fathom that in a World Cup final, not having a single shot to not a shot on target, a single shot. It was really like for the first 70 minutes, it was the most one-sided World Cup final probably of all time. It was literally only
yeah.
Argentina. And at the moment of a hat, when you have the players that France has going forward, they got it back into the game. An excellent game, but Lionel Messi gets the title he deserves, and Argentina lift the World Cup. You got anything else to add?
Uh, I mean, about France. At the same time, though, you can say, that's how they play. That's how they got this far. And if they won in penalties, you would be having a way different tone. You would be saying it's somehow
Yes,
their play style kind of worked.
they won in penalties, yes, but the only reason it got to penalties was because of that play style. We're sitting here and we all agreed that in 90 minutes they were clearly should not have been able even to get it to extra time. They were by far the lesser team. And in the tournament with luck, eventually your luck is gonna run out, and in penalties, their luck ran
But
out.
to be fair to them, though, like the first goal they conceded was like some just the Dembele just sticking his leg for no reason, and
But hold on, was Argentina for the 35 minutes not breathing down their necks,
they
not
were true.
exactly. They were
But that's how
dominating
like
the game.
that's how
That's
they
how
kind of want
football
to play, though.
works. That's how the chance was created. Exactly.
But that's how they play. They don't care if you're gonna attack them as long as you don't score that much, and they'll rely on moments which they eventually got
if you're
and it
gonna
went
keep
to extra
inviting
time.
pressure, if you're gonna keep inviting pressure over and over again, things like that are bound to happen. That's football. If you're gonna keep inviting pressure, it takes one little slip up penalty or one little slip up deflection into the goal. You can't keep inviting pressure and think you're gonna win back to back World Cups, especially if you don't. Especially if you're losing players. If you're losing players through injuries like they have throughout this tournament and before the tournament began, it's all
Yeah, they
fine margins,
true.
and they
But
were
I
outplayed.
mean, at the end of the day, I mean, they got to a final. I think it's a great job with losing Benzema, Pogba, and Kante, who've been the rock solid players in midfield. Like,
No, I mean
uh,
it's definitely a great job getting to the finals. I just think they were able to get tested by a real team earlier in the tournament. I don't think they've been able to get as far as what they got, but to get as far as they did is absolutely a phenomenal achievement with all their injuries.
but like, who's a real team though? Like, other maybe like Brazil? Is that like? What other team have they not faced that's like actually really good? Maybe Spain. Like,
Argentina, Brazil, Spain, Germany, Portugal, France. I mean, Argentina.
Or you
Yeah, I
think
mean,
Portugal? You think they will lose Portugal? I don't think you've
I
been
mean
high on them this whole time.
that's a real team that they would have faced though. The only team
Portugal
that
and
they face
England are
is
about the
England.
same level. Let's be
Yeah, I
real.
agree. Yeah, they
Yeah,
are.
and they got past England, like, and that was a quarterfinal, so not was not the semifinals or anything. But let's keep it positive for Argentina. I thought they were great for 70 minutes. They somehow let them back into it, and in extra time they kind of got back into it, and they kind of got unlucky with the penalty, but they somehow got it done after in the penalty shootouts.
No, they were deserved winners at the end of the day. It's clear on
Yeah,
that. They played much, much better than France throughout the 120 minutes. I thought the midfield was brilliant. It's just they slipped up like they did against the Netherlands, like they did against Australia, and France had the quality to make them pay, but Argentina didn't bend and did not fold. And the impressive thing about Argentina is even when they got down to 2-2 and to 3-3, they didn't completely fold and left France in again. They held on despite all the momentum being against them. Kind of represents how their tournament went on. Going through the loss of Saudi Arabia, the adversity to allow a team to come back twice and to be able to hang on. They barely did hang on because Koulibaly was in at the end, and France were completely pressurizing them at the end. But to were able to hang on just to give them a chance. And honestly, it kind of represents Lionel Scaloni's reign at Argentina before. Because if you have to be honest, going back to the 2019 Copa America, they lose their first game in the group stages. This tournament was in Brazil. They play their second game against Paraguay. They're down 1-0. Argentina get a penalty 1-1. Then Paraguay has a penalty in the 60th minute. And they miss. That game finishes 1-1. They finish with a point in those two games. If they lose that game, they get eliminated in the group stages. Lionel Scaloni is not the coach of Argentina anymore. It kind of represents his reign as an Argentina coach as a whole. And it's fine margins. And he
exactly.
could have,
So like every time they go to penalties, even the Copa America, just penalties, or like just Lodi, for example, in the final slips up, Di Maria scores a goal. Like in this tournament, they've been to penalties 2 times, I think. Like it's been a lot of just close games. They somehow pull it out,
and
and
Argentina, they're happy now. They get the World
yeah,
Cup they deserve. Messi gets the World Cup he deserves to cement himself as the GOAT. So great for Argentina. But my inner Brazilian heart is telling Argentines, y'all got y'all World Cup. Good for y'all. But that's your last one that we'll see in a very, 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 very long time.
that's true, bro. Like
that's it.
their team is like very similar to like Uruguay. It might even be worse than
No,
Uruguay's talent-wise. Talent-wise,
Argentina, it's Uruguay
yeah,
without
probably.
Messi. Argentina is Uruguay without Messi.
Yeah, like exactly. When Messi's done, like
It's
you're probably just like Uruguay, and you might make it to the World Cup. Maybe like get out of the group stages. But
yeah, phenomenal for Argentina. Well, the World Cup is over. Our coverage for the World Cup is over. It was an honor covering the World Cup. We will be back for Premier League. We're not going to take a break like we always do. I already have Premier League schedule set up for us to record during Champions League. So SBC Goal Sphere will continue through the club season. Let's be taking a couple of days break, but we should be back. I'd say Christmas Day, the day before Boxing Day. The day
hey,
before
by the way,
Boxing Day.
I've watched 3 World Cups so far. The 2014, 2018, and 2022. This has been the best by far. So many great moments, and the final was amazing. Yeah, I think
I'd
this has
say
been the best.
I'd say the final was amazing, but I want to give myself a couple months before I decided which one is the best because I
Okay.
left 2018 thinking it was the best. I left
Really,
20
I didn't like 2018 that
I left
much.
2014 thinking it was
Yeah, 2014 had the
good.
best like
I left
vibes to me.
2010. Still 2010 is the best for me because I was the youngest. That's when I had the most like inner joy over World Cup because
Yeah, that
watching
was
the game for the
me for
first time.
2014. Yeah.
But but like from objective point of view, I still think 2018 was a bit better, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna give myself a month before I decide. I'm one of those
All right.
people.